Good afternoon, Mr. Voon. My name is Debbie,
Yeah.
and I'm here today to interview you for my assignment. So, before we move on to the question, can you briefly explain your role as a manager and how do you usually manage your team?
My role actually is business development executive. I adhere this company for almost 10 years already. My primary responsibility is overseeing the export. I also engage in the operation support to ensure the efficiency execution of export tasks within the deadline.
In order to establish a good leadership style, there are different contexts of styles that can be followed in order to create a comfortable and positive workplace in the organization. There are in total of 6 leadership styles, which are autocratic style, democratic style, laissez-faire, transactional leadership, transformational leadership, and servant leadership.
First question, in your opinion, what is the role of a leader in fostering a positive and productive work environment? And also, how does your leadership style contribute to this?
First thing sure is the open communication. We should engage the open and honest communication between the staff, including listening to feedback.
In the video, I observed that Mr. Voon has embraced a democratic leadership style by placing a strong emphasis on the values of his employees. He leans towards open communication, encouraging employees to express their ideas and actively participate in the decision-making process. Mr. Voon adheres to behavioral theories in this approach, where he focuses on balancing his concern between task and team dynamics. He aims to ensure that his employees accomplish their tasks while simultaneously nurturing positive relationships with them, which contributes to a success of the organization. Decision-making begins with setting the goals and the process on reaching the objectives. The act of choosing occurs when decision-maker selects a particular course of action from the alternative options during the ongoing process. And implementation is turning a choice into an actual reality. Following up is just to make sure the choice that was put into action achieved the initial objectives.
So, moving on to the next question, can you
Okay.
explain how decision-making flows through the organization that you're working at right now?
The identification of the decision originated from various sources such as change in external environment, internal need, or routine operation requirement like the shipping schedule change, lack of production material, and human resource constraint. After that will be the problem definition. In both clearly define the problem or opportunity that decision aim to address. After that, we have the data collective and analysis. Gather relevant data to inform the decision-making process, such as obtaining additional shipping schedule or other pertinent data source. Then, after that, we will have to evaluate the alternative. Alternatives are evaluated against predefined criteria, considerably the cost, risk, and alignment with organization goal, comparing the shipping step and the associated cost. Then after that will be the decision implementation. The choose decision is put into action involving communication to stakeholder. Example like need to update all relevant party after the change has been made. Then the last one is communicate of result, outcome, lesson learned are communicated within the organization, contribution to organization learning and informing future decision-making process.
Okay, thank you. It's interesting to know how the decision-making could go through the organization.
In Mr. Voon's organizational setting, he has clearly followed the decision-making process, which has actually helped to improve his team and ensure that problems are addressed efficiently. Thus, it has then contributed to the overall success and adaptability of the business. Through this interview, I realized how crucial it is to implement decision-making process in every other organization. To briefly explain the managerial hierarchy, it is managed by an individual who runs the organization, or is elected by the owner or a team chosen by shareholders to symbolize their viewpoints. There are a few organizational structures, which are mechanistic design, organic design, contemporary structures, which includes theme structures and network structures, and lastly, traditional structures, which conclude the functional structures, divisional structures, and matrix structures.
The third question I would like to ask, could you describe the managerial hierarchy or layout within your organization?
Okay, because our company is smaller size factory with sales and export role, it's common for employee to multitasking. This adaptability and cross-functional collaboration are often essential in SME small medium industry, where employee may involve in broader range of tasks to meet the company needs. Like our company, managing director will be responsible for overseeing daily operation, implement strategy, ensuring the overall success of the business. Then after that, we got the operation and production, which oversee the manufacturing of production process within the factory. The other part is the sales and marketing, including the export department. The marketing manager will lead the sales team, including the export department, and is responsible for achieving sales target. And this will include business development, which my role inside here is managing export operation and ensure compliance with export regulation. And got side department like support function, like finance and administration. The last one is the customer service. Got customer got any feedback and query, we will handle it.
Since you have been working for 10 years, so it's clear that you know how to handle all these situations.
Through the video, it can be seen that Mr. Woon lies on the middle-level management, where he is responsible for carrying out the goals set by the top management. The organization structure Mr. Woon applies is the matrix design. It is to create a layout in a more structural way. For example, Mr. Woon mentioned that the sales and marketing team, which includes the marketing manager and business development executive, which is his role. The epidemic has caused significant changes in the work environment as it has shifted to working from home, which needs to evolve in the way management and employee interact with one another. In order to effectively interact with the team, managers as leaders should work to improve their communication skills. During the epidemic, managers have a critical role in upholding the culture, such as employees' attitudes, values, and trust.
So can you describe how you actually maintained the communication with your employees during the pandemic?
During the pandemic time, what we do is regular update because at that time all the SOP, the policy is changing, so we have to adapt it accordingly. So the way we update our employee is using multi communication channel like the email, instant messaging, like the notice, everything that ensure the information they're able to reach employee they are comfortable with. After that, because of flexibility, because last time during the SOP time we got the lockdown at the thing, so we have to changing policy and or procedure to accommodate the unique circumstances of the pandemic, like work from home, making rotation between staff. And the other thing is the health report. We encourage the worker inform the management they are feeling unwell or their family member test positive for COVID. This is to promote a culture of transparency and allow for appropriate measure to taken to ensure the well-being of all employees.
I understand how hard it was for you to work during the pandemic.
Based on the video, Mr. Woon has practiced sending regular updates through email and messages. He also used multiple communication channels such as Zoom, WhatsApp, Gmail, and Telegram. And lastly, health reporting is also essential to ensure the well-being of the employees.
So moving on to the last question, what lessons did you derive from leading before, during, and after the pandemic? And how do these insights actually influence your employees to actually move forward?
Okay, in the past, we practiced the just-in-time JIT. Because of the pandemic, we have moved to just-in-case inventory and supply chain management approach. This strategy shift of managing inventory align with broader organization insight gained from leading through the various phases of the pandemic. Before the pandemic, the organization using the JIT aiming for efficiency and reduce inventory costs. However, the pandemic exposed variability in the supply chain, particular disruption in the shipment. This prompted a necessary shift to the JIC method during the pandemic, emphasized the importance of maintaining a safety stock to prevent similar challenge. The insight gained from the shift in the inventory and supply chain management strategy can have a positive influence on employee and drive them forward, like clear communication. Transparency communication about the lesson behind the strategy shift from JIT to JIC is a key by providing a clear understanding of the challenge faced, the necessity for challenge, and the organization commitment to resilience. Employees gain insight into the broader content. Then we have the employee involvement. Involve the employee in discussion about the supply chain strategy is a powerful way to leverage their insight and expertise. When employees feel their opinion are valuable and considered in the decision making, it fosters a sense of ownership. This involvement empower employees to actively contribute to the organization resilience and adaptability.
Through this interview, I can see how successful of a manager you are, and thank you for your time for this interview.
Mr. Woon's transitional approach from just-in-time to just-in-case has shown how it helped to overcome the challenges faced when the pandemic hit by prioritizing clear communication and maintaining trust among employees. From a theoretical standpoint, this reflects behavioral theories. Mr. Woon has become a leader that cares more about his employees' well-being and encourage alignment with the organization's goals. Do you have the same leadership style? If so, why? If not, how would you have handled the situation differently? In my opinion, no, I do not have the same leadership style. Instead, I will actually utilize the laissez-faire leadership style. This is because I want my employees to feel comfortable and uphold a positive mindset in the workplace without neglecting their tasks. Additionally, I aim for an environment that encourages freedom and fosters a strong connection among the team. Despite the perception of potential coordination and structural challenges, this approach can actually promote more independent thinking and effective learning. As a leader, I will always be accessible to provide assistance when my subordinates need support and care. The significant lesson I have learned from the interview is that employee involvement is actually really important. It is one of the key managerial insights to motivate them to strive harder as a team. As what Mr. Woon has mentioned in the interview, employees will feel more valued if their opinions are taken into account in the decision making. In light of these realizations, my viewpoint has evolved as well. I aim to create an environment where their voices are not only heard but actively considered, which contributes to a more engaged and positive workforce. These are the reference lists, and thank you so much for watching.